Yo, what's up, Giants fans? It's Kush back at it with another preview video. Week 9, Giants at Washington in FedEx Field. Gonna be taking on the Redskins. Not the Redskins, the Potatoes. They don't have a name yet. I mean, I keep going back to Redskins because they still don't have a name yet. It's very weird to call them, we're going back to the football team. That sounds so weird. But we're going back to Washington. And this is a game where it's like, I don't even know if there's any implications. Like, you know, every time I do a preview video, I'm like, oh, this game has this set of implications. If we win this game, this is what it means for the rest of the season. If we lose this game, this is what it means for the rest of the season. So to be honest with y'all, I don't think there's any kind of thing like that with this game right here. Because, like, I don't know, I don't want to say that the Giants season is over already, just because it's not even because I have faith in the Giants, it's because I have faith in the NFC East being really, really bad. I have faith that the Cowboys honestly might win maybe 1 or 2 games at most for the rest of the season. I got faith that at some point the Eagles' injury is going to catch up to them and they're going to stop this like mini win streak that they got going. And I got faith that Washington's going to continue to have quarterback problems and continue to have problems of just being, you know, a good team on and off the field in general. So it's like, in addition to the Giants being bad, so it's like the entire NFC East is going to be so bad that it's like I can't for sure say that the season's over yet. But I'll tell you this, I am not as confident entering this game as I was 2 or 3 weeks ago when we did beat Washington. This is the second matchup of the year. Before the season, during the season, and up until about a week ago, I was still confident that we're going to sweep Washington. I'm like, we own Washington, you know what I'm saying? We beat them every time, especially when we play at their home field in FedEx Field. For some reason, the Giants, years in a row, 2018, 2019, put up 40-plus points on Washington's head in their own stadium. But we perform better there than we do at MetLife, which is kind of crazy. But that's just how it is. I would hope it transfers over, but the reality situation is, the fact of the matter is that the Giants are not a good team. Our offense is still struggling. Daniel Jones is still struggling. I don't know what, honestly, to expect from him this game. And before I even get a little bit more in depth about that, let's talk about the injury report for both teams here. Kind of an extensive one, but I think most of these guys on here are going to make it back for the game. For the Giants, Devontae Freeman, running back, ankle injury, limited practice on Thursday. Now, he was out last week, and he was out for majority of the game against Philadelphia. Ryan Lewis, cornerback, hamstring injury, did not practice on Thursday. Golden Tate, wide receiver. So it says not injury related because we know Joe Judge sent him home. And, you know what I'm saying, Golden Tate was basically getting, I guess you could say, disciplined, but he was in full practice on Thursday. Devontae Downs, linebacker, shoulder, limited practice. Blake Martinez, linebacker, limited practice with a hamstring injury. Logan Ryan, defensive back, hip injury, limited practice. Sterling Shepard, wide receiver, shoulder/toe injury, limited practice. Now, everybody on here except for Ryan Lewis, I'm confident in that would make it back to play. They played, you know, on Monday against the Bucks. I'm sure they're going to be fine, except for maybe Devontae, because he's the only player on here that actually missed games. So we'll see how that goes. Either way, Wayne Gallman was pretty good in his steed. You know, I'm kind of excited to see how they rotate. If Devontae is back, how they rotate the two of them. Hopefully it's more of a 50-50 split rather than what it was before, where Devontae got the most of it and Gallman wasn't really getting any playing time. We'll see how that turns out. For Washington, they got Jerron Christian Sr., tackle, knee injury, did not practice. James Smith-Williams, defensive end, concussion, full practice. Montez Sweat, defensive end, concussion, full practice. Logan Thomas, tight end, ankle injury, full practice. Isaiah Wright, shoulder injury, full practice. Dontrell Inman, wide receiver, hamstring injury, did not practice. Now, the only person on here that matters to be on here right now is Montez Sweat, because Montez Sweat is, you know, Washington's one of their premier edge defenders, one of their premier edge rushers that could really wreck the game for the Giants. Last time we played Washington, Chase Young was in limited snaps. It almost seemed like he didn't play, but that's because he was in limited snaps and the Giants offensive line was able to take care of him because of that. It was Montez Sweat that was wrecking the game, and he's going to be very, very tough to hold down if he's out here playing again. Now, if he's not playing, or if he is in limited snaps, that's just going to help us out. And speaking of which, this is another reason why I'm not so confident. You know, I want to come out here and say, yeah, we're going to beat Washington. But until we do it again, I ain't going to say it. But this is one of the reasons why. Washington's defense is honestly top-notch right now. They got the 8th overall defense. The Giants are all the way down at 21st. And somehow Washington, while performing worse than us, in my opinion, are still putting up the defensive numbers to be a top 10 elite defense in the league. By sack-wise, And the Giants, we all know, I think, or at least most of us know, the Giants are actually pretty good in sack-wise this year. They got 20 sacks on the year. That places them right about 9th overall in the league in terms of sacks. Washington is just a smidge above us at 6th overall with 22 sacks. And I mean, we held the Buccaneers to 2 sacks, and the Buccaneers entering that game on Monday night was 2nd in the league with 26 sacks. We held them to 2, and so I think we could defend Washington fairly well. But the thing is, I have yet to see a game where we do something fairly well and it carries over to the next game consistently this season. You know what I'm saying? The offensive line, shout out to Andrew Thomas, shout out to Shane Lemieux, Matt Peart, who we ain't got no news that indicates he's going to be the full-time starter yet, but those guys played their butts off. Kevin Zeiler too. Kevin Zeiler's been playing his butt off for like the past 5 weeks or so, man. But the offensive line was tremendous Monday night against Tampa Bay, one of the best teams when it comes to pass rushing and sacks in the league. If they could transfer that over to Washington, which honestly should be no problem, but once again, because we haven't seen any game where something good on the offensive side of the ball transfers over, I don't have faith that it's going to transfer over. I want to, but if it does, we're in business because we can definitely hold Washington down. Now, this is where it gets worrying again. The passing defense of the Washington football team is first in the NFL, and I have no idea how they are the best passing defense in the NFL. It absolutely baffles me. Kendall Fuller, he's been having a good year. He has 4 interceptions on the year, leading the team by far. Everybody else behind him, you talk about Landon Collins, Moreland, Holcomb, all those guys only got 1. So Kendall Fuller has definitely been having a really good year, but I think the reason their pass defense is that high is not even because of the secondary, it's just because of the pass rush. And I mentioned him before, Montez Sweat, who's going to be the game record, is leading Washington in sacks right now with 5. Right behind him is Ryan Kerrigan with 4, Chase Young 2.5, Landon Collins 2, John Bostic 2, Tim Settle 2, and then after that a bunch of guys that have 1.5. Now here's the thing, Ryan Kerrigan, I saw a rumor saying that he's requesting a trade, so I don't know what's going on over there in Washington, if he's unhappy or something. Hopefully that he's unhappy during this game and Montez Sweat once again is on the injury report. But Washington's pass rush is going to be the tough thing to hold down. We can't do it because we held down Tampa Bay. But that is why their pass defense is so tough to beat, because you got a great pass rush paired up with an average to good secondary that equals great pass defense. And as we all know, that's going to be tough for Daniel Jones to overcome, because the Bucs also had a great pass defense. You know what I'm saying? The Bucs also had a great in terms of pass rushing duo there with JPP and Shaq Barrett. But Washington has the best, so it's going to be difficult to see how Daniel Jones overcomes this. You guys know from my reaction video, I'm not completely giving up on the guy yet, but this is going to be a challenge. I feel like everybody thinks Washington is going to be a pushover. At least when it comes to our offense versus their defense, it's going to be anything but a pushover. It's going to be a fight for your life, man. Even in the rushing defense thing, where the Giants are 10th overall somehow and Washington is 15th overall, the rushing attack has been transferring from week to week since about the Dallas game. It's been going good. You know what I'm saying? I want to say it's been going good. Hopefully it could continue. Washington is definitely a break compared to the Bucs last week, though, where they were 2nd overall rushing defense and we still ran on them for 100 yards. So if we could get the run game going, if somehow, some way DJ could get the ball out in time, not make mistakes, not make dumb decisions, get the ball into the receiver's hands, we should be good. But that's where the battleground is going to be for this game. It's going to be our offense versus their defense, because even though our defense is not ranked great, 21st overall, what are we in passing? 27th passing and 15th rushing. I got faith that we're going to hold down Washington. I do have faith that our defense is going to lock up the Washington offense. Washington's offense right now is 31st in the league. That's literally the 2nd worst in the league. Granted, the Giants are at 29th, but let me finish here. They're the 31st overall in the league. Passing wise, they're 29th overall. Rushing wise, they're 27th overall. Here's the thing. We are a well-coached team. I think we are a better coached team than Washington is. And as much as we have a quarterback problem right now, Washington has quarterbacks problems. They got plural of both, bro. They don't know what's happening. They're not sure who their starter is. Kyle Allen, last time we faced up against them, he kind of handed us the game. Low-key Rivera actually handed us the game. But Kyle Allen against the Giants did not look good. And just the offense of Washington in general has looked worse than the Giants offense this year. I am confident in saying that, and I'm confident that our defense can hold them in check. I am very confident in James Bradbury once again going out there and doing his thing. Now, he did not completely lock up the Washington receivers last time. Let me go ahead there and check. Scary Terry still ended up with 74 yards, but guess what? He was missing when it came to scoring, so you could consider that a job well done. I think he's going to do a better job this time around. Now, granted, the rest of the secondary is, up for grabs in terms of who's going to lock down who, but we're going to be helped out by our pass rush. Once again, I don't think a lot of people realize we're a top team in the NFL right now when it comes to getting sacks and pressures. Last time around, Logan Ryan got a sack, Leonard Williams got a sack, Kyler Fackrell got a sack. I fully expect Leonard Williams to get another sack this game. He dominated that Washington offensive line last time. He was really good against the Bucks, Monday night. And Leonard Williams has been on a really good season, a really good pace this season. And he's honestly been probably our best pass rusher, although a little bit of that has to do with the fact that our outside linebackers have been going out left and right. Speaking of outside linebackers, Kyler Fackrell, who had a sack last time, I do expect him to get back on track and have another sack this time. If not him, the young duo of Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown, they did good Monday night against the Bucks, and specifically Cam Brown. Every time this dude is on the field, and every time I see him, you guys are in the streams, I say somehow, some way, he gets pressure. It makes absolutely no sense. He's the smallest outside linebacker I've ever seen in my life. This dude, well, he was an inside linebacker. He was built to play inside backer. The Giants shifted him outside. Kudos to Patrick Graham. Kudos to Brett Bielema, the outside linebacker coach. And he's doing really well because of how small he is. He's almost too quick for tackles to defend. The dude hits a couple of spin moves, a couple of finesse moves, and he's at the quarterback. He gets pressure consistently. So I do have faith that our pass rush is going to completely help out the defense. And honestly, our pass rush is probably going to be the backbone of the defense this time around. Don't even get me started on our rushing defense. It is, in my opinion, better than what the stats say. We're right around 10th overall in the league. The trio of Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and Dalvin Tomlinson are currently all three of them top 15 inside defensive linemen, and that is, both pass rush and run stuffing, but we're a team built to stuff the run out of the way. Shout out to Blake Martinez. I've been praising him this year because of how good of all-around middle linebacker he's been. His forte is still stuffing the run, and as seen Monday night against the Bucks, he was in the backfield a couple of times trying to stuff the run. So I think on our defensive side versus the Washington offense, we're going to be fine. The real battle is going to come down to our offense versus the Washington defense, which unfortunately has been the battle in every single 7 of the games that we lost. Our offense just can't get the job done, which is why I don't have a score prediction. I don't have a win prediction for this game. This game is honestly a toss-up. I do think we play better than Washington. I do think we're better coached than Washington, and I honestly think that we are a better team than Washington. And it comes down to the coaching. We're more disciplined, and we look like we play better football on the field than Washington does. But Washington has won more games than us, and there's a reason for that. And also, the Giants are not in a great position right now. I really just have to see with my own eyes that they sweep them this year. And like I said, I was so confident in that at the beginning of the season, 2 weeks ago even. I was still confident we're going to sweep Washington. I got to see with my eyes again before I actually call it. So I don't necessarily have, a concluding prediction here, but you guys let me know what you think. Are we beating Washington? Are we coming out? If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, is that it's not going to be an easy fight. It's not going to be a blowover match. This is going to be a scrappy football game. For all we know, the score is going to be the same as it was last time. I really expect it to be a low-scoring type of game, like that 19-20 game where the Giants won. That's it for now. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll catch y'all in the next one.